In the remote peaks of the Rocky Mountains, where snow caps eternal winters and pine forests whisper secrets to the wind, lived Elias Thorne, a man forged by solitude. At 55, his days blurred into chopping wood, mending his weathered cabin, and gazing at stars that seemed closer than any human soul. Widowed a decade ago, Elias had retreated from the world after losing his wife to illness, his heart a locked cabin door against the chill of loneliness. Yet, beneath his grizzled beard and calloused hands, a flicker of compassion burned, waiting for a spark. One crisp autumn dawn, as golden leaves danced like lost memories, Elias descended the treacherous trail to the nearest town, a speck called Willow Creek, hours from civilization. He needed supplies: flour, salt, a new axe head. The market was abuzz with locals, but Elias moved like a shadow, bartering quietly. It was there, in the alley behind the general store, that he first saw them. 3 ragged children, huddled against the brick wall, their breaths fogging the air like fragile ghosts. The eldest, a girl of about 12 named Lila, with tangled auburn hair and eyes like storm clouds, clutched a threadbare blanket around her siblings. Beside her, 9-year-old Theo, freckled and fierce, guarded a tin can of scavenged scraps. The youngest, 6-year-old Mia, whimpered softly, her tiny frame shivering despite the sun's weak warmth. They were orphans of the streets, whispers said, parents lost to a car wreck on the icy pass 2 years prior, bounced from foster homes until the system spat them out. Elias paused, his sack of goods heavy on his shoulder. He'd seen strays before, deer, wolves, but these were human pups, abandoned to the wild. A pang twisted in his chest, echoing the emptiness of his own home. Without a word, he knelt, offering an apple from his pack. Lila eyed him warily, but Mia's small hand reached out, trembling. You look cold, Elias rumbled, his voice gravelly from disuse. Cabin's got fire and stew. Come. Hesitation hung thick as fog, but hunger won. They followed him up the mountain path, silent footsteps crunching leaves, the children's wide eyes drinking in the towering pines like a fairy tale turned real. Elias's cabin emerged from the mist. Logs stacked sturdy, chimney puffing welcoming smoke, a porch swing creaking in the breeze. Inside, the scent of venison stew enveloped them, warming bones and suspicions alike. That first night, Elias cleared his loft, piling blankets from his own bed. The kids ate ravenously, questions bubbling only after full bellies. Why us? Lila asked, spoon paused midair. Elias shrugged, staring into the flames. Mountains take care of their own. Cities no place for young'uns like you. No papers, no promises, just instinct. By week's end, he'd filed adoption intent with a distant social worker, his rough signature sealing fate. Weeks melted into months, the cabin transforming from echo chamber to heartbeat home. Lila learned to braid Mia's hair by firelight. Theo trailed Elias on hunts, his small hands steadying rifles with surprising grit. Elias taught them the mountain's language, which berries stained lips purple, how to read wind before storms. Laughter echoed off walls once silent, chasing shadows from corners. Yet, Elias noticed scars, bruises faded but memories raw, tales of cold nights and cruel hands in foster limbo. Spring thawed the peaks, birthing wildflowers in riotous color. Elias bartered pelts for schoolbooks, rigging a desk from pine slabs. Lila devoured stories of far-off lands, her imagination a bridge from pain. Theo sketched maps of hidden caves, dreaming of treasures buried deep. Mia, once mute with fear, sang lullabies to the cabin's cat, her voice a silver thread weaving joy. Elias watched, heart swelling, unaware. How deeply these roots had entwined. Summers brought adventures, fishing in crystalline streams where trout flashed silver, building forts from fallen branches under endless blue skies. Elias's gruff tales of gold rush ghosts captivated them around campfires, stars winking approval. The children bloomed, Lila's sketches adorning walls, Theo's whittled animals lining shelves, Mia's wildflower crowns crowning Elias's hat. Strangers in town marveled at the mountain family, but Elias waved off praise, this was simply living. Yet, whispers from the valley crept up like vines. One rainy afternoon, a sleek black SUV churned the dirt road to Elias's door, mud splattering like accusations. Out stepped Victoria Langford, clad in city silk, her heels sinking into earth. Behind her, a lawyer with leather briefcase and pinched face. Mr. Thorne, she began, voice clipped as a winter gale, we represent the estate of Reginald Harrington. These children, Lila, Theo, Mia, they are his grandchildren. Elias stood in the doorway, axe still in hand from chopping, confusion furrowing his brow like old bark. The kids peeked from behind, eyes wide as the intruders, words unfolded a tapestry of wealth and loss. Reginald Harrington, oil magnate turned recluse, had died months ago in a Manhattan penthouse, his $6 million fortune tangled in legal webs. Parents, his daughter and son-in-law, perished in that wreck, but no one knew of the kid's survival until a tip from a foster record. Victoria paced the porch, rain drumming on tin roof like impatient fingers. The children were heirs, each to $2 million upon verification. But the clock ticked, unclaimed assets to charity unless located. The lawyer unrolled documents, yellowed photos spilling, a younger Reginald, beaming with his daughter, the same auburn hair as Lila. Elias's world tilted. These weren't strays, but lost princes and princesses of fortune. Inside, by the hearth's glow, Lila clutched the photo, tears carving paths down dust-streaked cheeks. Grandpa. He wanted us. Theo punched the air, a mix of fury and fire. We ain't leavin'. This is home. Mia buried her face in Elias's flannel shirt, small fists bunching fabric. Victoria softened, seeing the bond. The will specifies guardians of character, not cash. But the money, education, security, it's theirs. Yours to steward, if you wish. Nights stretched long, Elias wrestling shadows by lantern light. Wealth. He'd known poverty's bite, but $6 million gleamed like fool's gold, tempting corruption. The kids, sensing turmoil, gathered close one stormy eve. You're our dad now, Lila said firmly, money can't change mountains. Theo nodded, whittling a wolf figurine for Elias. Mia drew a crayon house, cabin big as a castle, all four inside. Dawn broke with resolve, he'd fight for family, fortune be damned. Legal battles ensued, couriers trekking the pass with affidavits and appeals. Elias, in ill-fitting suit from town thrift, faced judges in echoing halls, his testimony raw as mountain air, ain't about gold, it's about roots runnin' deep. Witnesses from Willow Creek vouched, the man who shared his last potato, taught mercy to the merciless. The heirs, lawyer, moved, argued for stability over sterility. Months crawled like burdened mules. Lila tutored Mia through nights, Theo scouted trails for treasure hunts to ease tension. Elias expanded the cabin, new rooms from felled timber, a library nook for dreams. Victoria returned, not as foe but ally, bringing trunks of clothes and books, her city edges softening in the wild's embrace. You're good for them, she admitted over coffee, steam curling like secrets shared. Verdict day arrived with harvest moon, silvering the courtroom. The judge, spectacles glinting, ruled, children to Elias, permanent. With funds in trust, education, health, no extravagance without guidance. Cheers erupted in Elias's chest, silent but seismic. Back home, the kids whooped, racing trails till dusk, fireflies lighting their joy like living stars. Autumn leaves turned fiery again, marking a year since alley shadows became family light. The $6 million settled like fresh snow, quiet, transformative. Elias hired a tutor for advanced lessons, Lila's art classes blooming into scholarships. Theo's maps evolved to engineering sketches, Mia's songs to piano keys ordered from catalog. Yet, core remained, suppers by fire, stories spun from heartstrings. Word spread beyond mountains, reporters climbed for tales of unlikely kings. Elias shooed them gruffly, but Lila penned a letter to the paper, we were lost, then found. Money's just paper, love's the real fortune. Clippings papered the outhouse, laughter their ink. Victoria, now aunt by choice, visited with tales of Reginald's hidden heart, donations masked, a softness under steel. Winters tested anew, blizzards burying paths, but now with warmth multiplied. Elias taught snowshoe crafts, the kids' giggles echoing avalanches of joy. One eve, as Auroras danced overhead, Theo asked, what if we never found you? Elias pulled them close. Mountains got a way of guidin' home. You're my legacy now. Stars nodded, eternal witnesses. Spring rains swelled creeks, birthing life in emerald waves. Lila, 13 now, organized a town fair, booths of whittled wares, berry pies baked in cabin oven. Funds seeded a shelter for strays, human and hound. Theo engineered a bridge over the ravine, sturdy as their bond. Mia's wildflower meadow drew bees in wonder, a testament to tender care. Summers hummed with expansion, solar panels glinting on roof, wired by Theo's clever hands, harnessing sun for lights that chased long nights. Lila's paintings fetched bids at auctions, colors capturing mountain soul. Mia composed tunes on fiddle, notes floating like butterflies. Elias marveled, his solitude a faded photograph. Yet, echoes of past lingered. A letter from distant kin, Harrington cousins, eyeing shares, stirred old storms. Elias faced them in lawyer's den, voice steady, fortune's theirs to grow, not grab. Mediation won, peace bought with boundaries firm as granite. The kids, briefed gently, hugged tighter, trust a shield unbreakable. Fall harvests filled larders, abundance mirroring hearts. Community swelled, neighbors sharing tools, tales, potlucks under harvest moon. Elias, once hermit, became elder, his wisdom a wellspring. Lila mentored young artists, Theo fixed wagons, Mia soothed with songs the town's weary. One crisp dawn, Elias woke to silence unusual, kids abuzz in loft, whispering plans. Downstairs, a banner, thanks, Dad, from your heirs. Breakfast sprawled, pancakes stacked high, syrup sticky as affection. Gifts unwrapped, a carved staff for his hikes, etched with, Mountain King. Tears pricked his eyes, rare as summer snow. Years wove onward, seasons cycling like faithful clockwork. Lila, off to college on trust dime, returned summers with city sparkle dimmed by home's glow. Theo built eco-cabins nearby, sustainable dreams rooted deep. Mia's voice graced stages, but always echoed back to cabin hearth. Elias aged gracefully, silver threading beard, steps slower but sure. The kids, now young adults, circled back often, their lives rich tapestries woven from mountain thread and golden weft. $6 million. A tool, not treasure, funding scholarships, sanctuaries, seeds of kindness sown wide. Reflections came in quiet twilights, Elias on porch swing, pipe smoke curling lazy. From lonely man to patriarch, his cabin no longer echo but symphony. The children, once homeless wisps, now heirs in every sense, fortunes, families, futures. Fate's twist, a gift wrapped in rags. And so, in the heart of the Rockies, where eagles soar and rivers sing, a story endures, of compassion conquering isolation, of hidden wealth paling beside love's true measure. Elias Thorne, mountain man no more, but forever father to three who claimed his soul as their own. Wait, the tale doesn't end there, life's plot twists eternal. Lila's first exhibit in Denver drew crowds, her canvas, Heirs of the Peak, fetching thousands, proceeds to orphan funds. Theo's bridge design won grants, spanning not just ravines but divides of need. Mia's album, Cabin Echoes, topped folk charts, lyrics whispering thanks to the man who mended broken wings. Elias, humbled, attended each milestone, flannel suit his armor in urban glare. Proud don't cover it, he'd mutter, eyes misty. Victoria, family fixture now, toasted at gatherings, her silk traded for wool. The Harrington name, once shadowed by greed, redeemed in their light. Challenges arose, as mountains weather storms. A wildfire licked close one summer, flames hungry for wood and memory. Elias evacuated the kids, staying to fight with neighbors, hoses snaking like veins. Ash settled, but home stood, scarred yet stronger, much like their scars, healed over. Rebuild brought unity, community hammers ringing, kids directing crews with youthful fire. New cabin wings bloomed, guest rooms for visits, a studio for Mia's strings. Elias planted fire-resistant groves, lessons etched in earth. Autumns deepened, leaves a carpet of gold mirroring matured dreams. Lila returned wed, her partner a quiet ranger fitting the wild. Weddings under pines, vows echoing birdsong. Elias walked aisles, hand steady, heart full to bursting. Theo's eco-village sprouted nearby, cabins clustered like protective kin. Heirs invested wisely, trusts funding green tech, sustainable havens for the lost. Pay it forward, he'd say, echoing Elias's unspoken creed. Mia's tours wove tales of adoption's grace, audiences spellbound by her mountain lilt. Royalties built a music camp for underprivileged youth, fiddles singing where silence once reigned. Elias's health faltered in later winters, joints creaking like old doors. The kids rallied, rotating stays, care gentle as snowfall. Doctors from trust funds monitored, but it was their stories, their hands, that healed best. One eve, as northern lights painted sky in ethereal fire, Elias gathered them. Brought you home thinkin' I was savin', you, he confessed, voice thin but true. Turned out, you saved me. Laughter mingled with tears, bonds eternal as stone. Legacy bloomed beyond blood, scholarships in Reginald's name, but Elias's spirit infused. Kids mentored strays, cycle unbroken. The cabin, museum now by choice, hosted tales for wanderers seeking roots. Lila's children scampered trails, auburn curls bouncing, freckles like Theo's. Grandkids called Elias, Pops, whittling lessons passed down. Fortune multiplied in joy, not just dollars. Theo's designs spanned nations, bridges linking isolated souls. He and Elias engineered a legacy trail, marked paths for hikers, plaques whispering the story. Mia's symphony premiered in halls grand, but roots called home. Family concerts by fire, violins duetting with crackle. Victoria, aged but spry, chronicled it all. Memoir, Heirs unearthed, bestseller touching hearts. Dedication, to the mountain that held them. Elias's final spring, wildflowers riotous, he slipped away peacefully, smile lingering like dawn. Funeral under peaks, mourners from city and wild, eulogies weaving his myth. The kids, elders now, tended grave with flowers, stories. $6 millions heirs but richer in legacy. Cabin endured, light in windows welcoming. Lila's paintings captured his essence, grizzled guardian, eyes kind. Sold for causes, colors eternal. Theo's village housed hundreds, sustainable sanctum born of one man's heart. Mia's songs echoed globally, anthems of found family. In Willow Creek, statues rose, Elias with 3 kids, hands linked. Inscription, from rags to riches, love the true coin. And so, the lonely mountain man's tale ripples, waves of kindness cresting, proving one compassionate act echoes forever, turning heirs of fortune into architects of hope.